Stop everything you are doing for just 10 seconds. Completely lower the defensive shield of your daily analytical mind and pay close attention to the exact biological phenomenon that takes over your body. Next time you experience an unexpected conflict, a slammed door, or a raised voice in your adult environment today, notice the lightning-fast surge of cortisol that immediately freezes your muscles, the sudden, violent racing of your heart, or the overwhelming wave of primal terror that makes you want to either aggressively launch a or instantly run away and hide in a dark, silent room. Watch how your adult relationship template functions today. Notice your toxic habit of overinterpreting your partner's minor shifts in facial expressions, your chronic suspicion that a quiet room means a catastrophic storm is coming, or your total inability to handle disagreement without feeling like your whole existence is being violently executed. You look at these destructive, exhausting adult patterns, your severe emotional your chronic relationship insecurity, and your physical vulnerability to stress diseases, and you tell yourself a noble, superficial lie. I'm just an emotionally sensitive person. I have an anxious attachment style. I need to work harder on mindfulness. But if we perform a deep forensic neuroclinical autopsy on the structural hypervigilance, we uncover a profound, forgotten, organic warfare. Your sensitivity is not a flaw in your personality. It is a permanent physical scar carved directly into your neurological architecture. You did not consciously choose to view human disagreement as a lethal existential emergency. Long before you entered the adult market, your developing brain was forced to grow inside an environment filled with psychological, toxic waste. You were raised in a house where the walls permanently vibrated with parental screaming, cold silence, and domestic terror. Every time your system goes into a red alert panic over a minor argument today, your brain is simply running a default defensive software programmed during a childhood where family conflict physically altered your gray matter to survive an ongoing war zone. To decode the true, terrifying blueprint of how family conflict alters a child's brain, we must aggressively smash the comforting cultural delusion that children forget the screaming matches they witnessed, or that they are unharmed as long as the violence is not directed at them. In the clinical reality of neuropsychology and neurodevelopmental science, a child's brain is not a static, protected vault. It is an organic, hyperplastic recording device that builds its neural circuits based entirely on the safety or the danger of its environment. In a healthy, functional family infrastructure, parental harmony operates like a neurological regulator. When the domestic environment is safe, stable, and predictable, the child's brain can safely allocate its massive metabolic energy toward growth and learning. The nervous system rests in a peaceful, parasympathetic state, but when a child is continuously exposed to an environment of chronic parental warfare, whether it is explosive screaming, slamming of furniture, or the toxic, frozen radiation of passive-aggressive cold wars, the sanctuary turns into a biological threat zone. The child's brain registers this ongoing instability not as family drama, but as an unyielding, lethal existential threat to its survival, because a dependent infant cannot physically escape the house. Its unformed brain has only one biological option to survive the terror. It must completely shut down its growth protocols and shift all its metabolic energy into a state of chronic, toxic stress response, permanently modifying its own brain development to handle a never-ending war zone. This daily exposure to toxic family conflict physically, structurally, and chemically warps the entire development of the child's brain, carving three primary, unyielding laws of neurobiological programming into your adult subconscious mind. The first law is the pathological hypertrophy of the amygdala. The amygdala is the brain's primitive smoke detector, responsible for processing fear, rage, and survival threats. When a child lives in a house where danger can erupt at any moment, the amygdala is forced to work under a continuous overload of adrenaline and cortisol. As a direct result, it becomes permanently enlarged, hypervascularized, and pathologically sensitive. As an adult, this translates into an unstoppable state of structural hypervigilance. Your brain loses the ability to recognize safety. Your enlarged amygdala acts like a broken smoke detector that goes off every time you boil water. It treats a partner's tired sigh, a manager's brief email, or a minor difference of opinion not as a normal human interaction, but as a lethal existential threat. immediately throwing your body into a full fight-or-flight panic before your logical brain can even process the text. The second law is the atrophy of the hippocampus and neural pruning. The hippocampus is the brain's primary center for short-term memory, verbal processing, and contextual learning. It possesses a high density of cortisol receptors, which makes it incredibly vulnerable to stress. Under the constant chemical flood of parental warfare, the high levels of cortisol become neurotoxic, literally killing off neurons and freezing neurogenesis. As an adult, this creates a profound condition of emotional disorientation during conflict. Notice how the next time someone argues with you today, your memory completely blanks out, your verbal fluidness vanishes, and you lose the ability to organize your thoughts logically. Your brain has pruned away the roads of self-regulation, leaving you trapped in a state of primitive, chaotic emotional drowning because your childhood hardware was designed to freeze under fire. The third law is the deactivation of the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the executive CEO of the brain, responsible for logical analysis, emotional regulation, long-term planning, and impulse control. In a healthy brain, it acts as the braking system for the emotional amygdala. But when a child's brain is perpetually flooded with trauma, the neural connections between the prefrontal cortex and the lower brain are systematically severed. The brain prunes away the executive circuits because logic is completely useless when you are trying to survive a bomb blast. As an adult, this creates severe affective disruption. When a conflict occurs today, your braking system fails entirely. Your logical brain goes completely offline, allowing the pathologically enlarged amygdala to hijack your entire behavior, trapping you in a state of absolute regression where you react to your adult partner with the exact same raw, unedited panic of a helpless, terrified 5-year-old child inside an old living room. But if we perform a deeper, more clinical post-mortem on this neuroarchitectural damage, we confront the most painful, silent dimension of this trauma. The somatic embodiment of the resentment and fear matrix. It is a ruthless, unyielding law of human biology that what the mouth is forced to silence, the body will always find a way to express through chronic physical disease. When a young child spends years trapped inside an invisible cage of family conflict, forced to hold their breath, swallow their tears, and freeze their muscles just to stay hidden from the parental crossfire, their body internalizes the exact architecture of the war zone. The nervous system remains permanently stuck in a high sympathetic state, completely unable to return to ventrovagal safety and restoration. This chronic chemical overload acts like an internal corrosive acid, directly attacking your adult physical biology through two devastating mechanisms. First, it creates immune system dysregulation and chronic inflammation. Children raised in high-conflict homes display permanently elevated levels of inflammatory biomarkers, such as C-reactive protein. Even decades later as adults, your immune system treats your own body as an active combat zone, manifesting as chronic fatigue, severe fibromyalgia, and autoimmune disorders. Second, it carves deep somatic armoring into your musculature. Your adult body retains the literal physical posture of the terrified child who is trying to shrink themselves into invisibility. The chronic tightness in your shoulders, burning pain in your back, and digestive failure are the physical, living archives of your history. Your body is physically collapsing under the weight of the war zone, still holding its breath, still waiting for the next door to slam. 40 years after leaving the house, through the law of neuroplasticity and conscious somatic, you possess the absolute sovereign right to rewire the circuits of your past. You break the matrix of comparative and conflict trauma by enforcing two radical protocols of neurological sovereignty. Today, first, you must master the protocol of somatic de-escalation. The next time a conflict occurs, and you feel that immediate, terrifying rush of primal survival panic, recognize that it is not the current situation causing the overload. It is your pathologically enlarged childhood amygdala running an ancient survival software. You must force your body to pause for 20 seconds. Consciously refuse to join the argument or run away. Instead, place your hands over your chest. Breathe out slower than you breathe in, and tell your nervous system, the war is over. The house is quiet. The adults are no longer screaming. I am completely safe in this body today. By deliberately introducing physical safety, you manually activate the prefrontal cortex, forcing the brain to build new, healthy neural pathways of self-attunement. Second, commit to the resignation from the intergenerational war. Stop acting as the unconscious ally or the emotional referee of your past. Your parents' marital conflict, their emotional and their toxic dynamics were never your math problem to solve. You must formally return the backpack of their chaos to them. Turn your radioactive, hypervigilant attention completely inward. Provide your own nervous system with the absolute structural boundaries, the predictable environments, and the unconditional somatic rests that your childhood was violently denied. Open your eyes to the silent sculptors of your panic. See the matrix of family conflict, trauma for what it truly is, and remember that you don't have to fix the fortress to deserve a peaceful kingdom of your own in this world. Thank you for exploring this file of family and childhood psychology with human secrets on SOMATIC. If this deep dive helped you see your anxiety and your body's pain more clearly, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. How did the shouting or the cold silence of your childhood home alter your brain today? And how are you choosing to rewire that script today? Stay independent but connected, stay compassionate to your unique nervous system, and we will see you in the next chapter.